Hey, what is up you guys? My name is SubZeroExtabyte and today, we are going to the dentist, the worst place in the world. I mean really the worst because I never liked going there and I'm not even going to take a look in my agenda when my dentist appointment exactly is because I hate the dentist just as much as most of you probably. Maybe, some of you have or had those dental braces. They were the worst. People who are messing around in your mouth and just trying to correct your teeth. It does work but it involves a lot of stuff and many appointments at the dentist. There was only one thing that makes me happy when I go to the dentist and that is the assistant. Those women are real nice to help you with everything and sometimes, when you are lucky, you get a nice looking girl. But of course, Mr. SubZeroExtabyte hasn't got any luck in that. Obviously, the sub gets the girls who are there for the first time, so they don't know how everything works and they are not so good looking either of course. That is why I don't like to go to the dentist. But I've had a dentist brace and now, I must say, my teeth are looking more straight than ever before. I wonder how I got here actually. Why did I ever choose to do a dentist parkour? Anyway, this shouldn't be a problem for me guys because I am the greatest parkour dude in the Roblox universe. You guys know Michael? Michael, the brother of one of my friends, considers himself as hardcore and he skateboards, and he is very good. I'll give him that, but he also does parkour, or at least thinks he does parkour, and for a while he has been telling people that he's better than my friend Andrew, and we don't really care but Michael insists on a face-off of parkour. Yeah, I know. He understands nothing of the disciplines of parkour. Anyways, well this one time my friend, Andrew, and I were out practicing parkour in my neighborhood playground and Michael comes along with his friend and was like, "Oh, you parkour?" And I was thinking OMG, it's DO parkour ugh, and Andrew and I were like, "Yeah, wanna join us?" Well, Michael thinks, or I assume he thinks, that he wanted to show up Andrew, so he says, "Hey Andrew, can you do this?" And he runs up to a picnic table and kongs it, with not too good of technique I might add. So after Michael does his kong, Andrew jumps onto a different table, runs across and front flips off of it and was like, "Huh? Oh, that's a kong you just did." Tried to make it more smooth like this and so he kongs the table. He does it much better than I do it, and Michael was pretty much dumbfounded. He then comes to reply, "Yeah, I mostly like to climb." His brother who is also my friend tells me that he often makes that excuse when someone shows him up. Right after that he told his friend, "Come on, let's go." And his friend replies, "How about showing them that balance thing you do?" And the whole time I happened to be practicing on my balance on one of the sides of the monkey bars. I was practicing because of APK, from an old thread I made a while ago lol. And I was like, "Is this what you're talking about?" And Michael looks and quickly turns away and replies, "No, that's not it," while walking off with his friend. This made my day. Now I, however, am a great parkour guy. Look at me rushing through these obstacles. I am simply the best. The acid is not a problem for me. I don't even need a health pack. I can rush through this parkour without dying. Oh, but that is not true because I already died before. Well, I am sorry guys. Let's just not count that one, right? Oh, but I hate the toothbrush, you know? I really hope we don't run into them. We probably will, so let's just prepare for that already. I always forget to clean my toothbrush. One sunny summer's morning I walked into a white bathroom. Out of the corner of my eye I saw a silver toothbrush. On the left side of it was a shelf with my dad's razor blade and my mom's cream on it. On the other side of it were baskets of new toothpaste. The object had seen better days. Dried up toothpaste was spread on the brush. The handle was all chipped because of me dropping it on the floor a lot. I thought it was neglected. My strong hand went down to pick it up. I could feel the chipped marks on my palms. The leftover toothpaste dripped down my little fingers. It was the most disgusting feel ever. I tried putting minty stuff on the brush but it just slipped off because the toothbrush was wet. Finally, it came on. I pulled my hand up with the dirty thing and put it into my mouth. The taste was horrible. I finally finished brushing my teeth to that horrible taste after 2 minutes. When I took my toothbrush out of my mouth, the toothpaste just dripped down my t-shirt. Oh no! I shrieked trying to wipe it off. I think I'm having a bad morning, I thought to myself. I put my toothbrush down and wiped my face. The toothpaste was on the towel so I had to get another one out of the cupboard. I turned the tap on to wash my hands but I turned it too hard and the water came bursting out. I quickly turned it off and on again. Later I forced myself to clean my toothbrush. I grabbed it out of the cupboard and started rubbing the brush to get the dry toothpaste out. Paste was going down the sink and the dirt from the chipped marks were coming out. Suddenly I saw a new toothbrush coming out of its dirty shell. Just saying saying, guys, we are not ready yet. We have to enter the vent over there. Oh, yes, I am scared of going in there but have to. Trapped in an air shaft and screaming for help, a grease-covered burglar was rescued after he got caught in the duct as he tried to break into a pizza parlor. It took nearly 30 minutes to free a recently paroled burglar who was trapped in a ventilation duct and screaming for help as he dangled over a deep fryer at Peason's Pizza. He was covered in grease when they rescued him from the too-tight air duct at the 2513 Guilderland Avenue restaurant. A second person may have been involved but disappeared from the scene before officers arrived. So luckily I did not get stuck there, but there is more to come. I do have to get in the mouth. I see. That is something dirty, guys. Maybe it is Dirty Harry. Go ahead. Make my day. Well, I sure know it is not Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood or not, I do have to enter the mouth. What about this is the mouth of a real man, and I am just a bacteria? I mean, what if a man visits his dentist because his mouth feels strange? His dentist examines him and says, "That new upper plate I put in for you 6 months ago is eroding. What have you been eating?" The patient answers with a frown, "All I can think of is that about 4 months ago my wife made some asparagus and put some stuff on it that was delicious. Hollandaise sauce, I think it was. I loved it so much I now put it on everything. Meat, toast, fish, vegetables, everything." Well, the dentist says, that's probably the problem. Hollandaise sauce is made with lots of lemon juice, which is highly corrosive. It's eaten away your upper plate. I'll make you a new plate, and this time uses chrome. The patient asks, "Why chrome?" The dentist replies, "It's simple. Everyone knows that there's no plate like chrome for the Hollandaise." Well, maybe I am that sauce which entered his mouth. What can I do about it? The guy has a bacteria in his mouth, and that bacteria is SubZeroExtabyte. Well, you guys know that I'm not a bacteria. Haha. It's funny because bacteria are super small and I am not. I see we are in his stomach right now, so I just have to assume for a few minutes that I am a bacteria. Even though am I not an invincible green bacteria? Look at that hamburger, guys. Do you eat hamburgers? The hamburger is the most eaten food in the whole world. The first hamburgers were made and sold in Connecticut in 1895 by an American called Louis Lasson. Louis called them hamburgers because he was given the recipe by sailors from Hamburg in Germany. Hamburgers became a favorite meal in America in the early part of the 20th century. Their popularity grew even more after the Second World War, when they were bought in large quantities by teenagers who preferred fast food to family meals. In 1948, two brothers Dick and Mac Donald opened a drive-in hamburger restaurant in San Bernardino, California. Since then, over 25,000 McDonald's restaurants have been opened worldwide, and now 35 million McDonald's hamburgers are eaten every day in 115 countries from India to the Arctic Circle. So think twice when you order one. It might just be stuck in your stomach like the one in this man. I don't want to be the teacher, but you do have to eat your vegetables. Well, I don't like them as well. So we are one of the same kind. I love you guys. I have no idea where we are right now. Are we in his intestines? I don't really like to be there, so we would have to be fast here. Large intestine forms the final segment where the body makes the last attempt to extract all nutrients from the food eaten. Anything that cannot be used by the body is essentially pushed out of the body by the large intestine. You know what? We call that waste product as stool or poop, but we could be in the small intestine. You know, the large intestine is not so very large. It is just huge and thick. So could it be we are at his poop hole? Oh, that is so embarrassing. Oh my god. It reminds me of that one time I had to use the toilet in a plane. Just over halfway through the flight, all the coffee in my stomach feels like it's percolating its way down into my lower intestine. I hunker down and try and focus on other things. What feels like an hour, but probably isn't more than 20 minutes, passes. We then enter what turns out to be pretty violent turbulence. With each bounce, I have to fight my body. 30 minutes to landing, maybe 45. I try and tell myself, each jostle gamble I can't afford to lose. I signal to the flight attendant and she heads toward me. "Excuse me, where is the bathroom?" Because I don't see a door. But it's really just for emergencies. "Don't worry, we're landing shortly anyway." I'm pretty sure this qualifies as an emergency. I can see the fear in her face as she points nervously to the back seat. The turbulence outside is matched only by the cyclone that is ravaging my bowels. She points to the back of the plane and says, "There, the toilet is there." For a brief instant, relief passes over my face. She continues, "If you pull away the leather cushion from that seat, It's under there. There's a small privacy screen that pulls up around it, but that's it. At this point, I was committed. She had just lit the dynamite and the mine shaft was set to blow. I turn to look where she is pointing and I get the urge to cry. I do cry, but my face is so tightly clenched it makes no difference. The toilet seat is occupied. Up to this point, nobody has observed my struggle or my exchange with the flight attendant. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's all I can say as I limp toward her like Quasimodo impersonating a penguin, and begin my explanation. Of course, as soon as my competitors see me talking to the CFO, they all perk up to find out what the hell I'm doing. Given my jovial nature and fun-loving attitude thus far on the roadshow, almost everybody thinks I'm joking. She, however, knows right away that I'm anything but and jumps up, moving quickly to where I had been sitting. I now had to remove the seat top, no easy task when you can barely stand upright, are getting tossed around like a hood rat at a block party, and are fighting against a gastrointestinal MT Vesuvius. I managed to peel back the leather seat top to find a rather luxurious-looking commode, with a nice cherry or walnut frame. It had obviously never been used, ever. Why this moment of clarity came to me, I do not know. Perhaps it was the realization that I was going to completely destroy this toilet with a fury and savagery that was an abomination to pureness like every toilet is. I imagined some poor Italian carpenter weeping over the violently soiled remains of his once beautiful creation. The lament lasted only a second as I was quickly back to concentrating on the tiny muscle that stood between me and molten hot lava. I mean, can you even begin to try and imagine how warm that is? Yeah, that's right, I bet you can't even try and imagine that. Let me help you out with that. It's warm, very warm. That being said, I am sure of the fact that you can now peacefully try to imagine how warm it actually is. You know, I must say this, I have been on a lot of adventures, and with a lot I mean like so many that I literally forgot the count, but hey, what does that matter, right? It's all about having a fun day in and day out, which by the way, is totally the case here on this channel, and if it's not, you should really let me know because that would be a total disaster. Am I right or am I right? Anyway, I think it is very safe to say that we have been at this dentist for far too long now, and I really think it's time to head home. Don't you guys agree? Well, I know for a fact that you guys agree, otherwise you would have already clicked away the video. That's right, I know you want to see me go home in one piece too, so don't you worry about that. I have to admit though, that it's really cool that you stayed with me throughout this whole, very weird obstacle course. I mean, we went into someone, literally, and came out too. If that's not a good story for story time, then I surely do not know what is. Also, may I just compliment the dentist for handing out free cars? I mean, personally, I have never seen any place that hands out free cars. I mean, have you? I don't think so. This is actually really sweet of them, making me go through all of this mess just because I didn't brush my teeth all that well for once, but at the end of it all giving me a free car to drive home. How sweet of them. Maybe it's because this dentist is like super duper new, or how the cool kids say it these days, fresh. Or should I say dope nation? Oh man, I am getting way too far ahead of myself again. I should really stop doing that. Alright, forget what I just said. Not that I said anything, but you get the point, right? But I hope you guys had a laugh, because otherwise I would not tell it. Anyway, that will probably not happen anymore to me. I am safe home. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I see you in the next video.